Hello everyone, good morning all of you. I'm Shweta Gandhi, an IELTS trainer from OSIS Group. Here today I want to discuss something about IELTS Writing Task 2. For this, many of the students are facing problem for IELTS Writing Task 2 as it is particularly a productive or we can say a descriptive part of IELTS from where many students are facing number of problems related to that, how to write writing task 2, what are the do's and what are the don'ts for writing task 2. So today I'm going to take you to the journey for IELTS Writing Task 2, that is an essay. Why today I'm going to take you on this journey? Because many of the students are actually in dilemma how to go with that. Particularly the descriptive part, the productive session where you need to produce your thoughts, where you need to generate your thoughts. And for this, many students just write about that. They don't know actually the proper format of this, but by this PPT, by this webinar, we can go with the particular knowledge that how you will get good bands and how the examiner judge you on the basis of your writing. Well, students, what I believe or what I have seen that students, if I make you write about any kind of the topic, you just write whatever comes in your mind, you just write as it is. No, this is not the condition. Let's elaborate the writing task 2. The basic conditions, we can start with that, is writing task 2, either for academic or for general, we have the same common factor that it is an essay writing, that is called a task 2 condition. We have 40 minutes for that. And actually it includes 6 bands out of 9 bands because we can say or we can predict that writing task 1, it includes 1/3 of your assessment or your checking part, but writing task 2 has total number of 6 bands, that means 2/3 of your assessment part. So you have to understand that major focus should be on essay writing. The minimum requirement of completing your task, that means your words, must be 250. So it should be 40 minutes. It must have completed 250 words in order to get good bands. Now, what I suggest that before, when you're getting the topic and after looking the topic, you just start writing with the words, with the introduction, the body paragraphs. No. First, you have to understand what the essay is about. And for that, you need to pre-plan. You need to pre-plan your structure. And how to pre-plan your structure, it involves the proper planning of essay. Well, in 40 minutes, you have to bifurcate your time for 2 to 10 minutes for planning, 25 to 32 minutes for writing, and third part is you should have at least 5 minutes for editing your writing task. For example, somewhere down the line you have spelling mistakes, the punctuation problems, somewhere you have written the small I. So you have to rectify your errors. So better before start just writing whatever comes in your mind. Don't do this. You have to pre-think. That means work on pre-writing. Then you need to go for writing part. And then after you need to edit your thoughts. You need to go with the next process. Now, let's go with the next thing. What are the basic topics that relates to your essay task? The basic understanding that what are the topics you will be getting in your examination. Number 1, we can go with, or we can have the heading first. To get a good band score in the writing section, it is very important to develop the vocabulary and ideas around these common IELTS topics. So, many of the students are getting into dilemma that what are the topics we need to come up, we are going to write. So these are the main common topics you should understand as education. So build all the vocabularies regarding that education part, the environment part, business and finance, crime and punishment, food, family, children, the media, technology, robotics, the internet, transport, society, space exploration, work, art, sports, government, travel, language, animals, personality. Now, what are these words? Actually, these are just the words, but at the IELTS exam come under these topics. For example, if I'm taking the part of education, you'll be getting to understand then somewhere you'll get the topic for online education or traditional education. So for online education, you can paraphrase your online education with the e-education, or you can say digital education, you can say modern way of education, you can say contemporary education. So number of words you can move into that. Similarly, if you are going for, we can say health. So generally the topic comes with the health issues related to either the obesity, either related to junk food. So particular, these are the topics you should understand that around the topics you need to generate your vocabulary. Just make the note of that for education, there are around 10-15 vocabs you need to develop. If you're getting the topic directly, you can just have the synonyms, and with the help of that synonym, you can frame your ideas. So you will get good thoughts within a normal range of time, right? Okay, moving on to the next part. First, you have to understand that in essay writing, what type of essays you should go with, or we can say this is particularly a task. These question types are the task you have to cover, because if you are not including these tasks in your writing task, your task achievement analysis will not be happening, or the examiner won't judge you on if you're not writing these tasks. So around we have 7 to 8 types of essays, or we can say the task. And basically what I give to my students, that these are these are not just the tasks, but this is basically the tail of your topic. You have to follow this tail, right? So the types of essay will be going with the number 1 part, that is called opinion. In this opinion part, you'll be getting agree, disagree kind of essay. What I am writing and why I am writing this opinion, because it is mandatory to write your opinion in your essay, because examiner wants your stand. On which part you're standing means, do you agree to the topic or disagree to the topic? And the second type of this opinion based is, to what extent do you agree or disagree? So these are the 2 types of agree disagree part which have to include the opinion part. For example, we can see computers have made it possible for people to work from home instead of working in offices every day. This should be encouraged as it good for both workers and employers. See, this is our question topic. Now, you need to just understand this question topic, that computers nowadays, it's possible for everyone to work from home, right? Instead of going for the office. This should be encouraged. So what do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Like, should it be encouraged or not? And the second question type is, to what extent do you agree or disagree? So my main motto of giving this particular topic one by one, because you should understand that where to put opinion and where not. So opinion is particularly whenever they are asking you, do you agree, or to what extent do you agree? To what extent is particularly the parameter, and you have to choose that parameter of 80-20 ratio, that 80% yes, you agree or disagree. So your essay must be inclined towards that part only, right? The second type of essay is particularly advantages and disadvantages. Again, in this advantages and disadvantages, you'll be going to have two types of questions. What are the advantages and disadvantages of the topic? Do the advantages outweigh disadvantages? So these are again a kind of agree disagree, or to what extent agree disagree. Why I'm saying, because in agree disagree you have to take a stand and you have to go with the flow. But in advantages and disadvantages, you have to write both advantages and disadvantages also. But the question number second is, do the advantages outweigh? Again, you have to follow that 80-20 ratio, just like to what extent do you agree, disagree. So 80-20 ratio is 80% you are going with one stand, but 20% is, although you are disagree, you have to write it, right? Just because you should have good thoughts, you have to write it. You have to write the both parts. Let's see the example. The internet has brought about many changes into our day-to-day life. Nowadays, we are doing things such as mailing, contacting, banking, and communication much faster. What are the advantages and disadvantages? Question number 3. Like first we have seen, do you agree, disagree? Second, we have seen to what extent do you agree, disagree? The third question type, what are the advantages and disadvantages? So here you have to write both part, advantages and disadvantages. Means body paragraph 1, you'll be having advantages. Body paragraph 2 will be having disadvantages. The second part of this is, do these advantages outweigh disadvantages? Means, do you think that advantages are far better than disadvantages? So again, you have to here follow 80-20 ratio. Means whichever the part you are agree with, you have to write that part with the 80% stand, and 20% you have to go to the opposite stand. Okay. The third type of essay is discussion. It's a very simple and a very good task. That means discuss both views and give your opinion. Now, here also you have to give your opinion that some people believe that school children should not be given homework by their teachers, whereas others argue that homework plays an important role in the education of children. Discuss both these views and give your opinion. Yeah? Here the examiner wants actually your opinion. What is your opinion, whether the homework is necessary or not? So what you have to do, you have to write the introduction part. Then you have to go with the body paragraph in which you have to support view 1, that some people believe that school children should not be given homework by their teachers. So this is your view 1. You have to put that in body paragraph 1. And body paragraph 2, you have to argue that homework plays an important role in the education of the children. So this is your view 2. And then you have to give the conclusion. Now, opinion always comes in the introduction part and in the conclusion part. So be careful wherever the examiner asks, you have to write your opinion, then you have to write, because this is your task and examiner is assessing your task, whether you're following it or not. Okay. Question number or type of essay 4th is problem and solution. Problem and solution, they'll give you a topic and they'll ask you what are the problems and what are the solutions. It's as simple as that. In body paragraph 1, you have to mention problems. In body paragraph 2, you have to mention solutions. That's it. It's very simple. But the thing is, we don't have to write it as it is, whatever comes in your mind. You have to think it properly. You have to frame your ideas. For that, I'll tell you how to create thoughts and how we have to follow the format. Like, let's have the example for problem and solution. More and more people are migrating to cities in search of better life. But city life can be extremely difficult. Explain some of the difficulties of living in a city. Like, see, the question is asking, like, explain some of the difficulties of living in a city. So you have to give the problems. What are the problems that people are facing when they are migrating to cities in search of better life? But city life can be extremely difficult. So what do you think? Like, explain some of the difficulties. You need to explain some of the problems. How can government make urban life better for everyone? Now you have to give solutions how government can help the persons in order to lead a good life. in the cities. So it's as simple. We don't need to just have the production of thoughts, but we have to organize these thoughts in the particular way in order to get good balance. See, whatever you are writing, it doesn't matter to the examiner, because all the matter is, do you follow the proper format of writing? Because examiners, the view of the examiner is just simple, that your ideas must be clear. Your ideas should be clear. Examiner must understand that whether, like, examiner should understand the task, but examiner should understand the ideas, whether you're coping up with the ideas or not. So you have to write it as simple as possible. Don't worry, we'll give you further information how to write and what what not to write. First, we are just looking the types of essays. So first we have seen with the agree disagree part, in which we'll be getting two parts. Do you agree disagree? To what extent do you agree disagree? In this, you have to write both the opinions, opinions in both the questions. Second is, yeah, we have seen with advantages and disadvantages, and to what extent or do advantages outweigh disadvantages. So again, in what are the advantages and disadvantages? You are not authorized to write opinion, but do advantages outweigh disadvantages? He's asking you, what do you think? So yes, you have to write opinion. And again, in the problem and solution task, he is not giving you the task that please give the suggestions or give the things that you have to write opinion. No, you have to just simply mention the problems and the solutions regarding the body paragraph 1. You have to write problems. Body paragraph 2, you have to write solutions, right? Coming up with the next type is causes and effects. Causes, what are the causes, the generation, why it occurs? So causes, and what are the, we can say the repercussion the actually people are facing. For example, car congestion is increasing in many areas. Yes, of course, it is increasing. And what are the causes and outcomes, the effects, right? So what we have to actually think, we have to think like, I am suffering from this problem, and what are the causes? We have to think it. We have to think in a broader sense. What are the causes? Okay, this would be the cause. You have to note it down. You have to pre-plan. What are the causes? Causes maybe this. What are the outcomes? Means what could be the effects? So you have to write also what are the effects. So again, in the body paragraph 1, you have to write causes. In the body paragraph 2, you have to write effects. But again, examiner is not demanding any kind of opinion. So you're not authorized to give opinion. If you are giving opinion, you're writing, no, exaggerating your ideas. Don't give like that. Wherever he's demanding your opinion, you have to give. But if he's not demanding, you cannot give. Okay. Next type of essay is two-part questions. Now, two-part questions is as simple. Your part first question must be in your body paragraph 1. Your part 2 question must be in the body paragraph 2, right? For example, as most people spend a major part of their adult life at work, job satisfaction is an important element of individual well-being. This is your topic. Again, we have to read. As most people spend a major part of their adult life at work, of course, we are actually living this life. Job satisfaction is an important element of individual well-being. Job satisfaction is important. Now, the question number 1, he's asking, what factors contribute to job satisfaction? Now, he's asking you what factors. So you have to think it. What are the factors for me? Like, how can I satisfy with the job? So you have to think like that. Be yourself. Be very normal. Be natural. It's not necessary to write number of vocabularies. No, you have to be very natural. You have to write what is the basic general criteria of the thinking of the people. So in body paragraph 1, you have to write what factors contribute. Second question is, how realistic is the expectation of job satisfaction for all workers? So how realistic is the expectation? What like job satisfaction involves what the realistic things? Again, you have to write in the body paragraph 2. So these are the two-part questions you have to include. So like your first question must be covered in your body paragraph 1. Your second question must be covered in the body paragraph 2. It's as simple as that. Trust me, it's very easy. Okay. Now, coming to the format of essay writing. If I'm talking about the format of essay writing, This is the particular thing you have to look at in order to get 7 or 8 bands. Seriously, if you're following this task, if you're following the particular format, you will be getting 8 bands around, because here you have to write the essay according to the situation and according to the format. If you're following your generation of ideas will be organized in the proper format. Okay, let's discuss how it will be occurring. Format is, the essay writing must have 4 paragraphs. You have to write first introduction, supporting paragraph part 1, that means called body paragraph 1, supporting paragraph 2, that means body paragraph 2, and conclusion. So you should have 4 minimum paragraphs in your essay writing. Do not write bullet points. Do not write your ideas in the form of bullet points. It is not allowed. You have to frame your ideas. So let's look at the format. It is very, very important. Trust me, if you're following this format, you'll be getting good bands, because the organization is as simple as the examiner demands. So in introduction, you have to write global sentence. Now, what is global sentence? Global sentence is all about the generalized statement. Whatever your topic is, you have to write the general part related to the society. For example, if I'm saying like technology, if the topic comes for the technology, any kind of general statement, you can write that technology nowadays is a booming part of the modern society. Just a 1 line and a 1.5 line global sentence that makes a hook to the paraphrase. The second part of the introduction is the paraphrase. Now, this is very, very, very important. If you are skipping global sentence, it's fine, it's perfectly fine. But it's not allowed to skip the paraphrase. For that, you have to understand at least what paraphrase is. Paraphrase is nothing but rewrite your topic in your own words. Examiner must understand that you are very familiar with the topic and you can write the topic by using number of synonyms, by using it in your own way. So paraphrase is nothing, just rewrite the topic in your own words. That's it. And it's very important. We'll give you the example how to paraphrase it. Don't worry. And in introduction, you have to cover the third part also, that is called thesis statement. Now it's a huge word. You're like, it feels like that is a colloquial part. No, it's not actually. Thesis statement is simply you have to conclude your introduction in 2 lines. You have to give the opinion also. So like I told you that you have to write the opinion in the introduction part, but this is also important where to write. You cannot write your opinion in the first line, the second line. No. Opinion always comes after the paraphrase. So paraphrase is rewrite the statement, rewrite the topic in your own words. After paraphrasing, you have to go with the thesis statement, means you have to write what you are going to include in your body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2. Plus, you have to write the opinion, like what you agree with, which stand you are taking, whether you agree or disagree, whether you think that advantages are more or disadvantages are less, or vice versa. Okay, so introduction, please do write the format. It's very important. Do write it down on your booklet, on your copy, so that for your future studies, you will get the information. You should know the proper format. Okay, so again, I'm repeating that introduction involves global sentence. Global sentence is the generalized part. Paraphrasing, you need to rewrite the topic in your own sentence. Thesis statement plus opinion. Thesis is all about you need to conclude your introduction, plus you have to write your opinion. Okay. Now come to the supporting paragraph 1 and supporting paragraph 2. That means body para 1 and body para 2. The format is common for both the body paragraph. Right? As I mentioned, common format for both body para. So the format, you should understand that first you have to write the topic sentence. It's very, very important. For both the paragraphs, we follow the same format. If you're writing body paragraph 1 or 2, you have to follow same format. That first line must be your topic sentence. For example, if I'm the examiner and you're writing, for example, you're writing problems and solution topic. But how would I understand that you are writing in your body paragraph 1 the problems? Maybe you can write the solution before, and many of the students do these errors kind like, so they, examiner should understand the clear view of yours. It should not be vague. So you have to write the topic sentence, that in your topic sentence what you are going to include in a body para. For example, if I'm saying that if I'm going to write about the advantages and disadvantages, and I have to write that there are many advantages of using internet, the first and foremost is, so there are many advantages of using internet. This is my topic sentence, because in this particular one line, I clear myself, or I make myself that I have made the clear view to the examiner that here in the body paragraph I'm writing advantages. Now you have to look that what are the advantages I have written, right? So topic sentence must include the advantages. The topic sentence should be there. The topic say you have to write the topic sentence in order to make understand the examiner what you're going to write in the body paragraph 1. Then after topic sentence, you have to add the linker. Linkers actually, again, I'll give you in the next slides. What are linkers? Linkers are basically the conjunctions, which are actually, it's a glue. Yeah, it plays a part of glue. Why? Because it is actually connecting your main idea 1 to the topic sentence. There must be something in order to connect the thoughts. So after topic sentence, you have to add linker. For example, like I told you about, like there are many advantages of using internet. The first and foremost is, the most pressing one is, firstly, to begin with, to commence with, to initiate with. So this is my linker. Then after that, you have to put your main idea. See, it's not necessary that you can write only the keywords. No, keywords are not allowed. You have to support it also. So just, what is the use, like what are the advantages of internet, for example, if I'm telling you. So main idea number 1 is easy access, or we can say it's easy accessibility plus 24/7 availability of the knowledge. So this is my main idea 1, that easy availability of the accessibility of the knowledge. So what is that? This is my main idea 1. Why I support internet? Because I'm getting the knowledge whenever, wherever I want. So this is my main idea 1. Now do not just conclude that sentence with the main idea 1. You have to support it by elaborating it, right? By elaborate. For like elaboration is very important. So after writing main idea 1, you have to elaborate it with the supporting idea. You have to support that idea, that why and how it is available to you at any point of time, right? So main idea plus supporting idea. Then you have to add linker again, because after supporting your idea number 1, you have to add linker. For example, secondly, firstly, your main idea 1, then secondly, your main idea 2. Again, you have to support that main idea 2 with the supporting idea, and then example you have to quote, because in your task it is written that please do write the examples with your practical knowledge and practical reference, right? So you have to write your examples also. Then conclusion. Conclusion, the format is concluding linker. You have to start your conclusion with the concluding linker, like in conclusion, to conclude, like to recapitulate, agglomerate. So yeah, these are the various linkers. Do not use that cliche linkers like in a nutshell, to sum up. Please don't write. Examiner will not feel, he will not feel so happy after looking at your these words. And simply you can write in conclusion, to conclude, and then summarize the body para framework. Summarize the body para framework means whatever you have written in your body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2, just in 2-3 lines, you have to summarize that body para and again restate your opinion. Opinion is necessary if it is demanding. So you have to rewrite your opinion. So opinion should be covered under 2 paragraphs, introduction and conclusion. Getting that? Coming to the next slide, I'll give you a sample essay. Like if I will be, or I am the student, or if I want to write essay, how can I frame my essay in order to get good bands? Let's look at it. Some people believe that school children should not be given homework by their teachers, whereas others argue that homework plays an important role in the education of children. Discuss both these views and give your opinion. See what kind of topic. First, before reading the topic, I directly go to my task, that what task I have to cover in my essay writing. So this is discuss both these views and give your opinion. This is my actual task. As I already told you that you have to focus on your task, what you have to write in the essay. Do not start directly. First, you have to understand that many people believe that homework is not important, but some people believe that homework is important. So why many people believe that no, homework should not be given by their teachers? Just think on it, and you have to understand, okay, these are the points, you have to include that. Let's look at my essay. As I have given a clear cut format of writing the things. First, I have covered the introduction according to my format that I have already given you, that in introduction you have to write global sentence, you have to write paraphrase, and you have to write thesis statement. So in introduction, first we are going with the global sentence, that because my topic is basically related to homework, that further implies to education. So I have written my global sentence as education plays a very crucial role as a foundation for country's future. See, this is one line, global part of my essay. And it's very simple, that education plays a very crucial role as a foundation for country's future. After global sentence, I have to paraphrase my topic. See how I have paraphrased it? People's opinions differ, because some people are saying this, some people are saying that. So I have made the amalgamation of that. And I've written people's opinions differ as to whether or not school children should be given homework. See, in one line again, I have paraphrased the 2-3 lines topic, and I have also included whether or. This is again a kind of conjunction, and trust me, you have to use conjunctions or linkers, or because these words are actually creating the complex sentences. And try to make your sentences complex, because it is very important to use at least 5 to 6 complex sentences in your essay part. So people's opinion differ as to whether or not school children should be given homework. This is my paraphrase. Then after, see how I have written thesis statement. While, see again I have made my sentence complex. While there are some strong arguments against the setting of homework, comma, because while always includes comma, I still believe that it is necessary aspect of education. No, I still believe, because in your topic, examiner wants you to write your opinion. So I am writing my opinion in my thesis statement, that I still believe that it is necessary aspect of education. Now examiner is getting the idea that you are favoring that education or that homework part, that it must be included. So this is my introduction. How you can write your introduction in this part. That's it. Global sentence, paraphrase, thesis statement. Coming to the body paragraph 1. See, again, I have, completely, I have disconnected all the fragments, and I want to make you understand that this is how you have to create your ideas with the proper addition of the formats. So body paragraph 1, I made you clear that you need to write topic sentence, then linkers, then main idea, then supporting idea, then linker, then main idea 2, then supporting idea, right? See how I have written it? Body para 1. For the same topic, of course. There are several reasons why people might argue, because in my task, it is mentioned that you have to discuss both the views. So now I am going to discuss view number 1, that many people believe, or many parents believe, that no, homework is unnecessary. So see, my topic sentence is very clear. By reading that topic sentence, examiner understands that you are going to write this part in your body paragraph 1. So what my topic sentence is, there are several reasons why people might argue that homework is an unnecessary burden on children. Linker, firstly. Now I'm going to add reasons because I've written there are several reasons. So for that, I have added a glue, that is a linker, that is firstly. Firstly, now my main idea 1 is, there is an evidence to support the idea. There is an evidence to support the idea that homework does nothing to improve educational outcomes. Like, according to me, my viewpoint, according to my view, this is my main idea, that I have come up with the evidence that proves that homework is unnecessary and it's not involves anything helpful in order to improve the educational outcomes. How I am supporting it, see my supporting idea. Countries such as Finland, if you don't know the countries, you can just write like it as per the survey. Many school children are not given homework regularly, and many countries, the school children are not given homework regularly. Regularly top international education league tables and outperform nations where setting homework is the norm. So this is my supporting that why it is unnecessary. Although homework is not given to the students, still that country, the literacy level is so high, and after comma you can read that Finland, where school children are not given homework, comma, regularly top international education league tables and outperform nations where setting homework is the norm. Okay, so you have supported it. That why do you think that it doesn't give the improvement to the educational outcome? Now again, I'm going to link my second idea with the help of the linker, that is called secondly. Many parents would agree that school day is already long enough. So this is my main idea too, that parents do believe that children are like, it's been a whole day for the children, that they're going and studying and then coming back. So there's no need to give homework, because whatever they are studying, they should study at school only. So many parents would agree that school day is already long enough. This is my main idea too. Now I'm going to support that idea. And leaves their children too tired to do further study when they return home. Finally, it is recognized, see my main idea 3 after supporting the next idea. Finally, it is recognized that playtime is just as beneficial as study time from the perspective of brain development. So again, I am quoting my another idea with the amalgamation of the main idea and the supporting idea, that it is recognized that playtime is just as beneficial as study time from the perspective of brain development. So see how clearly I have distinguished each and every part of my format of body paragraph. If you're following this, see, this is just a kind of example I have quoted, because here I want to make you understand that this is the topic sentence, this is the linker, this is main idea, this is supporting idea. So please do follow this. You'll get good bands systematically if you're going better obvious. Now, again, if I'm going to have my viewpoint 2, so this is my view number 2. Homework has an important role. Now I am adding my view that homework is actually important. So you have to write that in the body paragraph 2, that it is important, it plays an important role in the schooling of the children. This is my topic sentence. By this topic sentence, I make clear understanding that now I'm going to write the positivity of my homework. The main benefit, see, again I've added the linker. The main benefit of homework is that it encourages independent learning and problem solving. Many students just write the keyword, that independent learning and problem solving. No, you have to support it, this part, with the help of supporting idea. If you're not supporting, you'll not get bans. Because supporting is actually the judgment of your language, how clearly you are writing that, supporting by adding complex sentences also. So it encourages independent learning and problem solving, as say we can understand that I am ready to make the complex part also, as children are challenged including the passive voice also. As children are challenged to work through tasks alone and at their own pace, in doing so, students must apply the knowledge that they have learned in the class. So, this is my supporting idea that why it encourages independent learning and problem solving, because they are challenged to work through the tasks alone and students apply their own knowledge because they have what they have learned in the classroom, they are applying by their own way, right? Now I have quoted this with the example. For example, by doing mathematics exercises at home, students consolidate their understanding of the concepts taught by the teachers at school. It is also vital for children to develop an independent study habit because it helps to prepare themselves to work alone as adults. So, if you have seen in the topic must include that write the example also. So, in either body paragraph, you can add example. I haven't added, or I have added an example of Finland. That's a kind of example as supporting idea plus example. But here, I've clearly mentioned that I have written an example. So, according to the format, if you are going by adding topic, sentence, linker, idea, support, example, it would be a great clarity to the examiner that you have mentioned each and every point with the relativity of adding passive voice, complex sentence, simple sentence, compound sentence also. Okay. Lastly, I have added the conclusion that in conclusion, see, this is my concluding linker. So in conclusion, now I'm going to summarize my body paragraph 1 and 2. See how I have summarized. In conclusion, homework certainly has its drawbacks because you're favoring the positive part. So of course, you have to go with the negative part first, that homework certainly has its drawbacks, comma. But I believe, again, you have to restate your opinion. But I believe that benefits of its outweigh in the long term, as regular homework will help learners acquire knowledge and shape the society in a better way. See, I have again rephrased my thoughts just in 2 lines, that it benefits of it outweigh in the long term, as regular homework will help learners acquire knowledge and shape the society in a better. This is how I have concluded that. See, clearly introduction, body para 1, body para 2, and conclusion. This is my essay. So if you're going with that, of course, you'll get benefits. Now, I hope you're getting the clear view that how to write essay. What is the proper format? Again, you can see that global sentence, paraphrase, thesis statement, topic, sentence, linker, main idea 1, supporting idea 2, linker, main idea 2, supporting idea, example. And conclusion, you can write concluding linker, summarizing, and restatement your opinion. Now coming back to the judgment, because this is the state where examiner will give you bats. If you have covered all the judgment criteria, you will get good bands. So you have to write essay according to the format first, because this will, what I believe that this will cover all the judgment criteria. So you should understand what is the judgment criteria. What are the basic terminologies you have to keep in mind, that this is my assessment way, how examiner assess me. Okay. Now, sorry, task 2, number 1 thing, you have to see that task response that I already mentioned, that you have to cover the task. So task response is very important. What you have to find, how you are finding a way, that in what way should I cover the task. Number 1 is formulate and develop a position in relation to the given prompt. So again, I'm telling that please do not start your writing as just by looking the topic. Just understand the task, just understand the tale, the task, what type of essay it is. Ideas should be supportive by evidence and examples. See, I have already mentioned that I have mentioned examples in the body paras. So do mention the examples. It will be very beneficial for you. Third, responses must be at least 250 words. Always you have to go beyond 250 to 280. So if you're writing in this particular range,
your thoughts will be so organized. But if you're going, around many people going with a 300 plus words, 350 plus words, it's not fruitful. It's completely futile because you're anyhow exaggerating your ideas. That's not the way you're going. You have to be very crisp. So for that crispness, you have to cover your essay with the 250 words. Having that particular format, you'll easily get good bands. Now, so first one is your task achievement, your task response must be there. You have to cover your task properly. Second one is the coherence and the cohesion. The coherence is particularly the logical connectivity of the ideas, the linking of the ideas to logical sequencing. So your logical connectivity, how logically you are connecting. For that, I have given you the format. Just for the format, your ideas must be like linked coherently. And cohesion is actually what I say to my students, that it is actually a glue. Simply the connectors, the pronouns, the conjunctions. So cohesion is actually important, where you're active, where your thoughts are added in the form of the connectors, with the help of the connectors, by connecting one idea with the other, by having the cohesion part, the cohesive device, that is called a linker. And clarity and fluency is also important. How clear your message is, how fluent your message is, how the response organizes the linked information, ideas, and language. So coherence is completely about the logical connectivity of your thoughts one by one, including the examples also. And cohesion is you are adding the cohesive devices in order to connect one idea to the other. Next is the lexical resource. That means you have to use a wide range of vocabulary. The range of vocabulary must be accurate and appropriate. It should not be like whatever vocabulary comes into your mind and you're writing that. No, you have to understand the tone of your writing, whether you're writing the positive part or the negative part. And if the positive part, suppose, for example, now I'm giving the example, like talkative. It's a very simple word. But if you're writing as a vocabulary of that, talkative is actually loquacious and garrulous. These are the two synonyms of that. But loquacious is actually the positive part. When your tone of a sentence is positive, try to use loquacious rather than garrulous, because garrulous, many people write garrulous, but the appropriacy is not actually appropriate. So try to understand that whether you're writing the negative sentence, negative vocab, the sense of vocabulary is important. So it's not about you have to add a variety of vocabulary in it. You have to understand the sense of adding that vocab. Okay. So lexical resource, try to use vocab, but in a good way. Last, grammatical range and accuracy. Again, grammatical range. In my essay, I have spoken about number of sentences like passive sentence, complex sentence, compound sentence, simple sentence. You have to write somewhere conditionals also. So, adding number of sentences together will help you or the examiner understands that you have vast knowledge of your grammatical sentences. Plus, accuracy is also important. If you're writing number of sentences without the proper formation of the grammar, or writing present tense, but you wanted to write the past, but you're writing present. If you want to write the future and you're writing present, again you're creating errors there. So accuracy is also important. So grammar range and accuracy. But one thing I want to discuss with you, that accuracy is important, but somewhere if you're adding errors, if you're throwing errors, examiner can ignore it. But grammar range will give you good bands, because your examiner understands that although you're not good at the accuracy, some of the errors are there, it's fine, but you have used a wide range of grammar. That means you are very well in it, right? So grammar range and accuracy. So these are the four judgment criteria. Number one is task response. Number two is coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, grammar range, and accuracy. So these are the assessment criteria onto which examiner will give you good bands, and you have to understand this. Okay. Now, how to thrive that? Like task achievement, does it contain like what you have to think? What do you have to think in that? So thriving on the criteria is just you have to understand, okay, whether I have completed this task or not. So task achievement is, does it contain the information instructed? You have to think it. You have to follow it. Like, does it contain the information instructed? Have I completed all my tasks? Have I given the example? Have I given the supporting idea? Did I cover the proper format according to the actual format? Did I add my vocabulary? So this is what you have to cover. Task achievement is, does it contain the information instructed? Like my essay contained the information instructed. So plan your paragraphs using the guidelines in the instruction. Of course, the whatever guidelines I have given you, that this is the format, you have to go with the format. Next is coherence and cohesion, of course. Coherence is logical connectivity, but you have to ask that, is the information presented clearly? Have I presented the information clearly or understandably? Like, you have to wear the shoes of the examiner, right? You have to understand that whether if I am the examiner and this is the copy of the student, how can I check that copy? Including coherence and cohesion, whether the coherence is there, the cohesion is there. So think like that you are the examiner and you have to check the copy of the student. So before writing essay, the task achievement, the coherence and cohesion. The third is lexical resource. It's very important. Do not use words repetitively. Do not use it. If you are using language by 3-4 times the essay, if you are using technology 3-4 times, rather than you are going with the synonyms. So please brainstorm numerous paraphrases of the words. Grammatical range and accuracy. I've already told you that it should employ various grammar forms correctly, and brainstorm that before writing the task. Now, I have told you a lot about the cohesion and coherence. So cohesion, these are actually the cohesion devices, the sentence connectors. How can you connect your sentences with the help of the linkers? So these are the connectors. We can say connectors, we can say linkers, we can say with the help of this, we can actually create the coherence part, the logical connectivity. So see, look at the words, like we have contrast connectors, we have result connectors as a consequence, addition and listing connectors, time connectors, exemplification. How can you give the example? Like, for an instance, for example, to illustrate. How can you adding and listing the thoughts, like just before that on the third part? Addition and listing connectors, you can add also, besides, further, moreover, furthermore, in addition. First, you can write that firstly, first of all, to begin with. Secondly, in the second place, for another thing. And if you want to particularization, like if you want to add some particular task or particular thought of yours, so you can write in particular, particularly, specifically. If you are writing similar, like if you're writing this thought, but you have to add the similar thought to that. So you can write likewise, similarly, correspondingly, by the same token, in the same way. If you are, you can alternatively, you can write negative on the other hand, otherwise. And for summarize or conclusion, you can add in summary, in brief, in short, in conclusion. So this is all what you have to add. So you have to learn these connectors. These are actually very good connectors. If you are adding these in essay, automatically your coherence part will be going stronger. Okay. Now, last but not the least, the last part of this particular webinar is do's and don'ts. I have mentioned each and everything regarding how to write essay, the type of essay, the format of essay. But this is again the do and don'ts of that, which actually makes you clear that how you have to go with the do's and the don'ts. Analyze the topic is the do. You have to analyze it. What kind of topic is it? Respond to all parts of the prompt fully. You have to respond. It means you have to cover the task. Third, spend the first 5 minutes planning your essay. No, pre-planning is very important. So pre-planning, planning, and post-planning. You have to follow these 3 things. Pre-planning is you have to pre-plan the ideas, you have to generate your ideas, you have to add it with the coherence and cohesion, what are the things you have to add. So first, pre-planning is important. Then go with the planning, that means you are writing, and then go with the post-writing. Post-writing is important. And what you have to look at for the post writing, that whether you have written the spelling appropriately, whether you have some many people or many students write I in the small letters. Do not write that I in the small letters. Always write I. Third do is spend first 5 minutes planning your essay. Of course, you have to plan. The fourth do point is in the introduction, paraphrase the task and state the aim of your essay in a thesis statement. Again, I have already clearly mentioned that how to write paraphrase and how to write thesis statement. Next, divide your essay into paragraphs. Of course, it is mandatory. Do not write the writing task in just one form without having paragraphs. It's very important to add paragraphs because it gives the examiner a clear view of your ideas. So divide your essay into paragraphs. It must include 4 paragraphs: introduction, to main body and paragraph, to main body paragraphs, and conclusion. Start each paragraph with a topic sentence. Of course, you have to start with the topic sentence. Then provide a reason. That means you have to support it. An example for each of your argument. Then summarize the points made in the essay, and then conclusion. You have to summarize the points, whatever points you have written in the body paragraph 1 and 2. You have to summarize it. In short, you have to reiterate it, right? Provide some food for thought. Example, recommendations, suggestions. Now, this is very important. If suppose you don't have opinion to write, then you think, now what should I write? So for that, you can add suggestions also. That suggestions is somehow you can add in the conclusion in just 1-2 lines. That's, and remember that conclusion must be smaller than introduction. Your introduction word range would be around 50 words, 45 to 50 words. The range for body para 1 and body para 2 is around 90 words. And again, your conclusion must be around 40 words, not more than that. Please do follow this because you have to be very crisp while writing. Now, don't use contractions. Seriously, it is important. Don't use contractions. Contractions means the short forms of writing. The phrases like I don't, I can't, and don't, can't, shouldn't, ain't. Please do not write. It's not allowed in the essay part. Avoid being personal. You have to add your personal pronouns only in your opinion. Besides, you are not allowed to write personal pronouns I, me, you. Do not give example of your friends in the essay writing. Seriously, it will hamper your bands. Do not write that one of my friends and my friend example is this. No, you have to give examples in a general form, like many people or in the survey, many people believe, or somewhat like generalized statements. Do not add I, me, my, you, your, he, she, it in your example or in your essay. You have to include I just in your opinion part. That's it. Don't use emotive language. Don't use slangs, simple, disgusting, fabulous, wow. Do not authorized. Your essay must be so formal, must be so linguistic, must be so natural. Do not use these slangs. Don't use only personal examples. I already told you that. Please do not, refrain yourself from adding these personal examples. It's not allowed. Don't use colloquial expressions, had a great time. Like informal language, you cannot use simply. Avoid simple vocabulary. Now I say, I think, I had. And if you're writing, suppose in the opinion, I believe. So don't again repeat that I believe. You can say I think or I agree, I completely agree. You have to change the word. Do not repeat your vocabulary. Okay. Don't write simple sentences. I already told you the range of sentences you have to add. So simple sentence, complex sentence, compound sentence. I'm repeating again and again because it's very important. Don't use overgeneralization. Overgeneralization always hampers your plan because overgeneralization is all about, you're making your essay so generalized. No, at times, like 1-2 times you can use, but many times you cannot. Don't copy the task in your introduction. So do not copy the task in your introduction because, don't copy it. Why are you copying the task of the topic? You need not to copy it. You have to make a paraphrase of it. Okay. So these are some do's and don'ts of your writing task. if you're adding this if you're adding this format, but obviously you will be getting good bands. And if you are getting good bands, who will be happy more than you, right? So format is very important. Plus do's and don'ts, what you have to follow, what you need not to follow, all you have to cover this. IELTS writing task 2 is actually productive. You need to produce your thoughts, you need to produce your ideas. So what I believe that students, please do not write it, whatever comes in your mind, do not write that. If you want actually good bands, if you want actually the good things in your writing, please do aware that whether you are going to write all the things in the proper format, all the things in the proper order, the organization is very important. So if you're organizing your thoughts, it will be very helpful for you, right? So writing task 2 is actually nothing but the whole soul performance of your task. I hope you have enjoyed my IELTS writing task 2. The conditions, the do's and don'ts, whatever, what are the things you have to include and what are the things you have to exclude, right? And if you have further queries, do contact our office group, do contact us. Okay, thank you. Take care.